transfers. But today I want to take a look at something a little different. Can I get a volunteer to read the learning targets for us? Let's see. Go ahead, Abiana.
Learning target. I can analyze objects to see if they are insulators or conductors of heat.
Very good. Now, let me just see a cold call. I'm going to ask for, let's see, Danye, can you tell me what an insulator is? Yes, it's something that traps heat. Very good. Anidra, what is a conductor? Can you tell me what a conductor is?
A conductor is an object that traps heat.
Okay. Are you sure? Now we said the insulator traps heat. Let's see. I need someone. Antias, what's an insulator? I mean a conductor. Okay. When we say conduct, what are we talking about? Abiana.
A conductor doesn't trap heat.
It does what?
It moves.
Okay, it moves heat in a way. You may sit down. So class, what I need you to do, and I need everybody tracking the speaker. I'm waiting. I see a few people who are not tracking the speaker. So I need you to write down the following objects. I need you to write down chopsticks. Can you write that down for me? I'm going to ask you to go sit in the back for me, please. Sit right in the back seat. So I'm going to ask you, first of all, to write down, you have a question?
Yes. We write it on the separate sheet.
You put it on the same sheet. So the first thing is the chopsticks. Write that down for me. Then we have a spatula or plastic fork. However you want to call it, it's a spatula. Okay. The next object we have is a stainless steel spoon. So you should be writing these objects down. And then finally, the last object is a metal nutcracker. A metal nutcracker. So my question to you, I need to know which items do you think are insulators and which items do you think are conductors? Any one of these that you think are insulators, put an I next to it. And if you think it is a conductor, please put a C next to it. So we already said that insulators trap heat, correct? How many of you agree with that? And then we said that conductors, pretty much, to sum it up, transfers heat, okay? So one thing that we're going to do to test your prediction. So let me just hear, can I get volunteers to give me a prediction for the chopstick, insulator or conductor? A conductor. May anybody have a different prediction? Anybody have a different one? What about the spatula? Spatula, is this an insulator or conductor? You say it's a conductor, okay? How many of you agree with that this is a conductor? Anybody does not agree that this is a conductor, okay? What about the stainless steel spoon? Insulator or conductor? Summer? Insulator or conductor? I don't know, I'm asking, were you asking me or you were saying insulator? Okay. Okay. So, and then finally, is that all of them? We have four. Okay, the nutcracker, which is metal. Insulator or conductor, Anidra? Insulator. So let's see. So the next thing, class, I am going to do is I am going to take a small pat of butter and I am going to put it, and I'm going to take it over here just so I don't mess up the desk. And I am going to take a small pat of butter and I am going to put it on each one of the objects. So I'm putting the same amount on each object and I'm putting it at the same height. So the first one I'm going to put it on is the chopstick. The next one, oops, and I better start boiling a little water. I forgot about that. Get that hot. So then the next one I'm going to put it on is the stainless steel. I'm putting a pat of butter on that. And again, I am trying to put them all at the same height. So that's that. Then I am going to put one on the nutcracker. And then finally, I am going to put a pat, and that one fell. Let me get that out of there. Put that back on the spoon. Now this is, okay. And then a little pat onto the spatula. And I'm going to take my hands a little bit. So again, how many of you think you have a question, Aisha? Sure. So again, I have not heard from Rockman. So Rockman, what do you think is going to happen to the butter when I put hot water in this container? What do you think is going to happen?
It's gonna mix in with the water.
It's going to mix in. So let me ask you this. Which one do you think is going to melt first? Aaliyah?
The one that's on the metal spoon.
So she's predicting that the one on the metal spoon is going to melt first. Summer, which one do you think is going to melt first? Okay. So anybody else have a different one? Which one do you think Marquise is going to melt first once I get the hot water in there? You think the one with the metal spoon? Anybody have a different one? Abiana?
I think they're all gonna melt at the same rate because from the steam from hot water.
Okay, so she thinks they're all gonna melt at the same rate. That's a good prediction that I have not heard this morning. Are there any other students who think that all of them are gonna melt at the same time? Who thinks? Anybody else? Jasmine, you think that? Tell me why you think that. Why do you think that all of them are gonna melt at the same time? Okay. So you saying because I'm putting the water in at the same time? Okay. Anadra,
I say because they
can you speak up just a little bit? Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
because I think all of them will melt at the same time because the heat from the water will build up on all the objects.
Okay. So you don't think it matters on which object that they're all gonna melt at the same time? Aaliyah,
I also think that spatula, I think that was really well.
you think the spatula's gonna melt faster than the others? Aisha,
I agree with you. I think
all of them melting the same time? Well, I see that it's getting a little hotter in here. Anybody else want to add? Summer? Because you think it's flat? Okay. We're going to see in just a minute which one of these is going to melt the fastest. And let's test it. I'm going to take this. And without touching the rest of them, I'm going to pour water in there. And then we're going to see which one melts first. So we're going to let that sit for a second. And then we're going to observe in just a minute. Let's just measure 1 minute and see. So let's watch the clock, folks, or you have a time clock on your computer. Just Google in stopwatch.
Trying to wait for it to,
So what we're doing here, I need you to track the speaker. So what we're doing here, we have the water. The water is about 6 to 8 centimeters before it touches the butter. And what we're trying to see is which one will begin to melt first. You have already made your predictions, and I am here observing to see which one it is, and I think we have a reading. So I'm going to ask that one person, let's see, who would like to come up and observe? Come on, Karen. Just come up and tell us which one, because I see butter in the water next to one of the utensils. So, Karen, which utensil is that has butter in the water next to it? Okay. So, class, based upon your prediction, what actually happened is the butter on the spoon, thank you, Karen, you may have a seat, is the spoon with the butter on it is the utensil that melted first. So, based upon your prediction, you need to write down what actually happened. So, based upon me putting the water into the hot water into the beaker, and I need you to write everybody should be in the writing position right now. You should be writing the results according to the observation. The utensil, which was a stainless steel spoon, is the utensil whose butter melted first.